The clock in the small cafe ticked towards midnight. Outside, a fine mist danced beneath the street lamps, casting ghostly halos in the damp air. Within, patrons whispered in soft undertones, unaware of the quietly brewing mystery that gripped the tiny coastal town.
"You hear about that kid? The one that's missing?" a man muttered, leaning over the counter. His voice was tinged with intrigue, matched only by the curiosity that flickered in the bartender's eyes.
"The 18-year-old, the solo adventurer," she replied, wiping a glass clean, yet pausing to absorb the gravity of the situation.
That young adventurer, Sophie Reynolds, was known for her unyielding spirit and thirst for exploration that belied her years. She had practically circumnavigated the globe, leaving behind a trail of blog entries and social media posts vibrant with descriptions of lush jungles, bustling cities, and serene deserts. Yet, her last message was a stark contrast. A simple, cryptic video taken in a dimly lit room, muffled sounds echoing off camera.
"It's like she vanished into thin air," the man murmured, the words hanging in the air amidst the clinking of cups and the whispering of the night wind seeping through the cracks.
News of Sophie's disappearance spread like wildfire, fueling endless speculations and theories. Some claimed she had found a hidden paradise, while others whispered darker tales of peril and discovery. As the community grappled with the enigma, a trio of her friends decided to retrace Sophie's steps, embarking on their own journey into the heart of mystery, where not everything is as it seems.
"We owe it to her," declared Emma, one of Sophie's closest companions. Her voice was a beacon of resolve as she clutched a worn map traced with paths long traveled by their missing friend.
Little did they know, their pursuit of truth would lead them into a labyrinth of secrets, where shadows whispered of ancient truths and hidden dangers. As the clock struck 12, Emma and her friends set out under the veil of night, unaware that they were not alone in their quest. In the distance, a pair of eyes watched their every move, a figure shrouded in the unknown. As dawn broke over the tranquil expanse of the town, the first light of day kissed the map cradled in Emma's hands. With renewed determination, she and her friends set off on the path that Sophie had traveled weeks before.
"Look, over here!" Jake, the tactician of the group, pointed toward an ancient stone structure partially hidden by ivy and time-worn ruins. His voice was a mix of awe and anticipation, sending a palpable energy through the group.
Approaching the structure, Emma felt the cool morning air on her skin, her fingers tracing the rough-hewn stones as she ventured further inside. Along the weathered walls, almost imperceptible at first, were cryptic notes hastily scrawled in marker, messages from Sophie.
"These can't be random," Emma mused aloud, her eyes scanning the symbols and cryptic phrases. "It's like she's leaving breadcrumbs through a forest of shadows." She spoke with a sense of hope, as if each letter were a lifeline threaded back to her missing friend.
The messages varied in intrigue. Some seemed like fleeting thoughts, others like warnings, and a few seeds to a grand puzzle yet to be solved. They pressed on, deciphering what they could, their minds buzzing with each newly discovered piece of the mystery. As dusk began to fall, and the forest nestled into a cloak of shadows, the trio prepared to make camp. Yet unbeknownst to them, they were under silent surveillance.
Under the cloak of twilight, the mysterious figure emerged from the thicket. A mysterious air surrounded him, and within his hand, hidden by folds of a cloaked robe, lay a keepsake, a medallion with Sophie's initials etched into its surface. His presence was a specter of uncertainty hanging in the cool evening, promising revelations, and perhaps more questions than answers.
The stranger's intentions were clouded, but his tie to Sophie's past was undeniable. As the firelight flickered against the night, Emma's telepathic-like intuition tugged at her consciousness, hinting at a story broader and deeper than she had ever imagined. As the warmth of the campfire soothed the night's chill, Emma carefully unfolded one of the cryptic notes. Beneath the overlapping shadows, the notes seemed to murmur secrets of a plan far grander than mere adventure.
"We were so busy following her steps because we thought she just wanted to see the world." Emma spoke softly, the realization dawning within her. "But these notes, they speak of a purpose, something she never shared, even with us."
"Purpose? Like what?" Jake leaned closer, his brow furrowed in concentration as if willing the notes to yield their hidden truths.
"We need to decode these," Emma pointed out, her voice infused with a mix of urgency and intrigue. It's the only way to understand what she was truly after.
Yet, as they grappled with Sophie's hidden intentions, the weight of the medallion made its presence ever more pronounced. The mysterious figure's hold seemed tight, yet his intentions remained veiled from their eyes.
That medallion. It has her initials, Mark observed, his voice carrying an edge of unease. If it was meant as a sign or a warning, all it does is make me question how much we really knew about her trip.
As the campfire flickered its dying remnants of light across the darkened forest, the trio found themselves at a crossroads. The medallion was like an anchor of fear, tethering them to anxieties about continuing their quest. Shadows crept from the depths of the forest, and as the fire's last ember sighed into a whisper, the choice lay bare before them. Retrace Sophie's path into uncertainty, or turn back with what they knew, leaving unspoken answers behind. The rising sun painted the horizon in hues of amber and rose as Emma, Jake, and Mark gathered around the remnants of the campfire, notes fanned out across their laps like pieces of a scattered mosaic.
These phrases, their rhythm and composition, it's almost poetic, Emma remarked, turning the finely penciled pages in her hand. Maybe each one aligns with a verse in a well-known poem, something she cherished.
Remember how much she loved that book of classics? There could be a link here, Jake nodded, recalling Sophie's well-thumbed anthology filled with dog-eared pages and cryptic annotations.
Intent on solving the riddle, they delved into the literary world Sophie adored, sifting through remembered verses, matching phrases to find the true meanings hidden in her words. Meanwhile, the medallion continued to weigh heavily on their resolve, a silent question begging for answers. A decision formed like the morning dew, pooling into each glance shared between them. As the morning mist began to lift, their path forward became clear.
Let's confront him, Mark suggested. We need to know what he knows.
With the air thickening around them, they resolved to corner the mysterious figure. Uncertainty clung like shadows, yet fueled their urgency. Steeling themselves, they approached his encampment, voices hushed against the breeze.
"We won't be ignored," Emma stated clearly, her voice unwavering as they found him. The man appeared weathered, his eyes like binoculars surveying an unseen horizon.
The figure turned, his gaze meeting theirs with a calmness that belied the tension in the air. Emma stepped forward, the courage in her heart mirrored in her words as they cut through the silence.
"This medallion, what does it mean? Where did you get it?"
A charged silence followed, the weight of their questions settling around them like the dense, dewy mist of dawn. As the figure opened his mouth to speak, secrets danced on the edge of revelation. The mysterious figure regarded them with a solemn expression, his eyes reflecting years of unseen sorrows and secrets kept. As words unfurled from his lips, the past extended a spectral hand.
This medallion, he began, his fingers tracing the intricate designs with care. It was crafted by Sophie's father, a gift, a promise sealed in silver. He entrusted it to me, an old friend, to deliver it to her when she turned 18. It symbolizes a journey she was meant to complete, a legacy passed through generations.
Emma's heart skipped a beat, the revelation lending new gravity to her understanding. The medallion, much like a compass to the heart, bore a story of its own, leading her to questions beyond what lay in the present.
"But why now? Why is she missing?" Emma pressed, her voice a keen edge slicing through the deepening mystery.
Guided by pieces yet unsolved, their attention returned to the cryptic notes, their veracity now echoed in the verses, reminiscent of ancient tales.
These verses, Jake whispered, drawing connections within lines with newfound clarity. Each one speaks of an adventurer on a quest, a venture believed to be carried by her father, seeking the mythic fountain of youth.
"A fountain," Emma mused, letting the word wash over her. But what if it's not literal? Her mind raced over hidden allegories, realizing the fountain might be an analogy, perhaps a radiating idea, a quest for renewal or an everlasting impact.
The revelation of her father's connection added layers to their understanding, unveiling Sophie's potential motivations for this uncharted path. As her friends pieced together hints from past to present, their path, colored by poetry and paternal legacy, grew sharper and more defined. Yet, did it invite fortune or cast them further into perilous depths? Under the canopy of stars, Emma, Jake, and Mark huddled close, The map spread before them, illuminated by the dim glow of their lantern. Their resolve to embark on the quest grew fiercer, tethered to the compelling legacy of Sophie's father and the enticing allure of the unknown.
"We'll follow the clues hidden in these verses," Emma announced, tracing a finger across the path encoded within their words. Each line a step forward, leading us toward a truth buried in time.
It's almost like a riddle to be solved, Jake reasoned, eyes flickering over the poetic terrain stretched before them. But each answer leads us to unfathomed territories, places yet imagined.
With map in hand and hearts filled with intent, they planned their journey through varied sceneries and cryptic symbols, each representing a stanza within the adventure, awaiting their discovery. The figure, who had been silent, listening with the intensity of a keeper of secrets, now drew closer, his voice a low whisper woven with truth and warning.
Sophie's father. He believed in the existence of a lost people. He revealed softly, as if speaking of forbidden legends. They were said to guard the secrets of what you now call the Fountain of Youth. Not as a magical stream, but as a society bound to youth in spirit.
His words painted pictures of societies hidden and elder tales untold, whispering promises that beckoned explorers and tempted fates.
Was he trying to find them, to join them? Emma asked, a world of possibility unfolding before her mind's eye.
Indeed, his quest was to find and learn from them, to embrace their harmony and eternal renewal, the figure expressed, eyes clouded over with what seemed to be fleeting memories, and just maybe his own youthful aspirations. As dawn beckoned, the gathering omens of their journey, the path before them shimmered not with certainty, but with a bridge to unheard tales and unseen planes of existence. Each step toward the fountain would bring them closer to discovering whether youthful vitality was a myth, a legend, or a living truth within reach. With plans solidified and adventure tethered to their hearts, Emma, Jake, and Mark boarded the aircraft that would carry them to Thailand. The gentle hum of engines filled the cabin as they soared above clouds, leaving the known behind and venturing into the whispers of the unknown.
"This is it," Emma murmured, glancing out the window as landscapes unfurled beneath them. The first step to uncovering what Sophie was truly searching for.
Their destination was a remote Thai island, whispered of in travelogues as a place adorned with untouched beauty, said to carry echoes from the past. After a layover in bustling Bangkok, they boarded a small charter plane, excitement thick in the air as they approached the final leg of their journey. However, as the plane drew closer to the island, a sudden jolt snapped them from their reverie. The engine coughed ominously, its once reassuring cadence turning into a stutter of uncertainty.
"What's going on?" Jake asked, his voice tight with mounting concern as the pilot's anxious voice crackled over the intercom, warning steeped in urgency.
The aircraft began to descend far more rapidly than planned, the azure waters below looming ever closer. Passengers braced themselves, minds racing with unspoken fears and prayers.
"Hold on," Emma shouted, gripping the armrest as the plane sliced through air and fear, finally skimming the water before landing, its fuselage skipping across waves now churning with trepidation.
Amid the cacophony of chaos, their anxiety was met with the unexpected embrace of the island's welcoming shores. Fortuitous and coincidental, the island that beckoned was the one meant to lead them deeper into Sophie's enigma. Soaked yet undeterred, and with land finally beneath their feet, they faced the island's lush green heart, with spirits unbroken, but questions anew. It was here that marked the true start of their journey into the legends and whispers of the past. As the adrenaline ebbed and they left the chaotic remnants of the crash behind, Emma, Jake, and Mark found themselves thrust into a new reality. The island rose like an emerald fortress around them, cloaked in dense foliage and unknown dangers.
"First things first," Jake announced, taking charge as they moved inland. "We need to find fresh water and food. That's our priority if we're going to make it here for any length of time."
Guided by instinct and the pressing needs of survival, they scoured the edge of the forest. Their search rewarded by the distant burble of a stream cutting a cool, clear path through the trees. Beside it, they foraged for sustenance, gathering familiar fruits and berries to supplement their cache.
"This will do for now," Emma noted, her relief visible as they set down the supplies at the edge of their newfound refuge, a clearing sheltered from the island's wrathful sunlight.
With the necessities secured, their next task was to establish a base camp, a sanctuary within the expanse of the unknown. Under Jake's guidance, they erected makeshift shelters using available materials, creating a sense of belonging amidst isolation. However, as they worked, thoughts of Sophie lingered, permeating each action and decision.
Sophie never mentioned her father much, did she? Emma wondered aloud, stirring a poignant silence among them. What if he never left this place?
That's always a possibility, Mark replied, the weight of her implications settling heavily within their shared contemplation.
The more they explored, the more tales the island seemed willing to unravel. Perhaps Sophie's quiet allusion to her father was deliberate, concealing within silence the fact that his journey, fueled by fantastical pursuits, took him somewhere unreachable, or somewhere imminently close. As night fell and the island's song rose, the mystery deepened, revealing threads half-glimpsed and faintly remembered. The dense canopy of the island whispered secrets as Emma, Jake, and Mark ventured further into its lush depths, driven by the haunting possibility that Sophie's father might have never left. Each step brought them closer to untold histories hidden within the vibrant tapestry of the jungle. As they traversed a rugged path leading toward the sound of rushing water, the air seemed to pulse with the rhythm of untold stories. Emma felt a shiver of anticipation as the waterfall came into view, its cascading beauty hiding a more tragic truth beneath. At the base of the waterfall, they stumbled upon a simple but poignant marker, a weathered wooden cross adorned with carvings and island flora.
This must be it, Emma spoke softly, kneeling beside the marker. Sophie's father. His journey led him here, to this place of final rest. Her voice trembled with the revelation that their quest was intertwined with a legacy fraught with loss and discovery.
As they paid their respects, the silence was broken by the approach of an unexpected figure, a young boy, his eyes curious yet wise beyond his years.
"You're looking for Sophie, aren't you?" the boy asked, his words a tether to hope. "She's with them, with the island's inhabitants. They call her family now."
A path untraveled unfolded as the boy shared tales of a root plant, its properties a closely guarded secret among the island's elders.
"The root plant," he explained, "it slows aging. Some here are over 120 years old because of it."
With new understanding etched into their awareness, Emma, Jake, and Mark realized the island cradled not just secrets of longevity, but a society sustained by ancient wisdom. As the boy guided them deeper into the heart of the community, the promise of reconnecting with Sophie surged anew. The journey, unraveled and rich with history, beckoned them toward entwined destinies and revelations of past and future. As Emma, Jake, and Mark followed the young boy further into the heart of the island's community, they marveled at the harmony between the people and their lush environment. Their anticipation grew with every step, the hope of seeing Sophie, a persistent light guiding them.
I can't believe we're finally going to see her, Emma whispered, her heart racing as they neared a cluster of huts seamlessly woven into the island's embrace.
The reunion came upon them like the dawn, unanticipated yet undeniable. Sophie stood among the villagers, her expression a beacon of joy and relief at the sight of her friends. Her laughter was like music as she ran to embrace each of them, her presence a balm to their weary souls.
I never dared hope you'd find me, Sophie exclaimed, her eyes shimmering with emotion. I've missed you all so much.
Yet, amidst the joy of reunion, the island's inhabitants observed the newcomers with cautious eyes. Their unfamiliar faces were a disruption to the delicate balance of trust established over time.
"Don't worry," Sophie whispered to her friends, sensing the villagers' apprehension. "I've lived among them and earned their trust. They'll understand that you mean no harm."
Sophie's influence within the community served as a bridge, her words paving the way for understanding and acceptance. The group faced the challenge of assimilating into the community's way of life with humility and respect. With time, the islanders' wariness began to thaw, curiosity taking its place as they witnessed the kindness and genuine interest of their visitors.
We seek only to understand, Emma explained gently, her sincerity resonating with the elders. To learn from you and respect your ways.
As days turned into weeks, bonds formed between the newcomers and the islanders, woven by shared knowledge and mutual respect. The secret of the root plant, and the wisdom it held, became closer to their reach, through collaboration and shared understanding. The delicate dance of trust and knowledge set the stage for revelations yet to come, as the island opened its arms to embrace both its past and future. The days on the island turned into an enlightening journey for Emma, Jake, and Mark, as they immersed themselves in the way of life of a people whose peace and wisdom were matched only by the rhythms of nature surrounding them. The islanders' existence was a tapestry of traditions and practices handed down through generations, reminiscent of the knowledge and storytelling methods of the Australian Aboriginals. Songs and stories were intertwined with the landscape itself, each path and plant bearing testament to a deep-seated wisdom.
It's incredible, Emma mused, listening to an elder recount tales of the past beneath a sky painted with stars. Their understanding of the world feels ancient, and yet profoundly relevant to our time.
The island's people lived with an unparalleled balance, a dance between past lessons and new growth. Their ingenuity showcased hidden reservoirs of creativity within constraints. Their serenity provided a haven, but also a stark reminder of human connection with the earth.
Everything they do, every story they tell, is woven with purpose, Jake added, contemplating a mural of vibrant paints illustrating tribal history under a thatched roof.
However, with the dawning understanding of the island's ethos came a pivotal reality. Despite their hospitality, the islanders harbored a singular wish, for the visitors, Sophie included, to depart and preserve the sanctity of their covert existence.
"We welcome you, but our community must remain untouched by the outside world," the elder advised gravely. "The ways of the island are our most cherished secret, intended solely for those born within its embrace."
The group's perception of Sophie's quest evolved as they witnessed the nuances of the islander's life, gaining clarity on her desire to safeguard these precious truths. Her journey was never only about discovery, but also about protection and respect for those she came to cherish.
It all makes sense now, Sophie confessed as the group gathered by the moonlit sea. I wanted to uncover the island's wonders, but now I realize I must protect its secrets even more fiercely.
Torn between their wishes and the bond formed with their newfound friends, the group faced a journey of both return and attunement to the values imparted by this hidden paradise. As they prepared to leave, the whisper of the island's heritage would forever echo in their hearts, guiding their actions long after this chapter ended. As the sun began to set on their final day on the island, painting the sky in hues of gold and crimson, Emma, Jake, Mark, and Sophie gathered with the community for a farewell celebration.
Thank you, Emma began, her voice carrying across the gentle breeze, for welcoming us into your world and sharing a part of your lives with us. We've learned more than we could ever put into words.
"We'll carry your stories and traditions in our hearts," Jake added, his eyes meeting those of the elder who had become a wise guide and friend during their stay.
Laughter and music filled the air as the islanders shared dances and songs, their movements weaving a tapestry of joy and unity that transcended the barriers of language and culture. It was a celebration of understanding, of connection, of the bond that formed between different worlds.
This is a place I'll never forget, Sophie said, her heart full as she watched her friends blending seamlessly into the vibrant festivities, a place that changed me in ways I never imagined.
As the night deepened, a bond of friendship and mutual respect shone brightly in the gentle glow of the firelight. Gifts of handmade trinkets were exchanged, symbols of the lasting impact each group had on the other. With promises made to keep the island's secrets safe, they prepared for their journey home, carrying with them the lessons of this paradise and a renewed sense of purpose. Upon returning to their own world, Sophie and her friends shared their stories subtly, emphasizing the beauty of living harmoniously with nature and each other, without revealing the island's exact location. Their story inspired others to appreciate the wisdom found in preserving and respecting days gone by. Together, they realized that the true riches of their adventure lay not only in the discovery of external wonders, but in the growth and strengthening of their own bonds, mirroring those formed with the islanders.
We've been given so much, Sophie reflected as they sat together one evening, watching the stars. And now we have the chance to contribute something meaningful in return.
In the end, their hearts left paradise, But the paradise of spirit and unity they discovered continued to guide them, shaping futures painted with the brushstrokes of past wisdom. They had journeyed seeking answers, and returned with far more, a story of friendship, adventure, and hope. The end. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe.